Obviously, we're excited, just as every team that's in the playoffs right now. There's not a team that's not excited and not energized and not anxious to get going. So we're just the same as everybody else.
How much is the experience a factor in a series like this, or do you think that's a little?
Well, it all depends. It all depends on how the series plays out. It's good to have some experience, but you don't need. There's some benefit to having zero experience, and I proved that last year. We had, probably 5 or 6 guys who never played in an NHL playoff game, and they won a cup. And I had more experienced teams years previously, and we didn't win a cup. So there's something to be a little bit on both sides. Sometimes you're just excited and naive a bit. But to have, depending on the situation, to have a little bit of experience, I think it helps to calm things down to have a couple guys that have gone through it.
Harry, how have you liked the way Matthews' overall game has evolved over the course of the year, and with all the weapons Pittsburgh has, how much pressure is on that line to score some goals?
Well, I think pressure. We've done it collectively, so we haven't relied on one line. We haven't relied on really anybody to carry us. We've done it as a committee. So I think there's pressure on all lines to sort of contribute. In playoffs, there's unlikely heroes. Last year we had guys like our third and fourth line guys who were coming up with big goals at big times, and the big boys sort of neutralized each other. So every series is different. Every series has its own script. I mean, last year, we lost our first 2 home games. That was the best thing for us. We got some focus. Not that we weren't focused, but we dug in and we had to do it on the road, and it ended up being the best thing that happened to that group. So, and it's about getting to 4. It's not about tomorrow night's game, win or lose. It's not going to win you a series. It's just one step into it, and that's how you approach it. And no matter what happens, if you win or lose, you've got to have sort of short-term memory, and you can't look back. You just got to look forward, and because whatever happens, you can't undo. It's done, and you move forward. So hopefully it's on a positive side, and you move forward and try to get better for each game. And the first series is an absolute test, and you don't know how it's going to play out. And that's the great thing about it is there's no script. There's nothing. It's a blank sheet, and you go at it, and every year there's unlikely heroes. That's the one thing that's been common through, probably every Stanley Cup playoffs. And there's some guys that are, the top players usually rise to that occasion. And as I say, in the playoffs, that's where some legends have been made. So, hopefully we can all step up.
What sets those guys apart, the guys that end up rising to the occasion?
I just think that a calmness. I think a focus. Understanding that it's not going to be easy. The playoffs, you got to fight for every inch. It's way different than the regular season. And the regular season, there's games where you have, you got to fight for more inches than usual, but it's at a completely different level.
You've used 4 lines. What kind of boost is having Philip back and ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, we have to be true to our identity. We can't be Pittsburgh. We can't be any team. We can't be Washington, Pittsburgh, teams that are in our conference. We got to be the New York Islanders. We got to play our way, and that's the only way we've been able to win this year is playing our way. And anybody who's seen us play, and when we don't play Islander hockey, we don't have any success. And it's about trying to impose your game a little bit on them and taking advantage of opportunities that arise from it.
What is the process, regular season and now in the postseason, for these starting goalie decisions? Is it gut? Is it a meeting with the goal? What is your process for making these decisions?
I'm going to phone him tonight and tell him who's playing, like I have all year. So it's not going to change.
I mean, in terms of the decision itself, what's the process? Is it mostly gut?
Yeah, mostly, yeah. And just who I feel that gives us a chance to win tomorrow, and that might change for game 2 and might change for game 3. I've done that all year. I talk with our staff. It's not like just pick up the phone and say, okay, you're going tomorrow. We talk about it, but that's internally. but there is a discussion, and we make a decision and live with that decision. Right, wrong, and indifferent. We've believed in both of them, and we just that's why there hasn't been a lot of rhythm. Where I know people have speculated that so and so's starting, and I didn't start that guy. We're going the other way, so we really haven't had any rhythm. It's probably a week to week feel.